It's time for Next Step Monday as we look back on this past Sunday's sermon and jumpstart our week with a few thoughts. Here's Pastor Dave Pack.
It's good to be with you, Fremont family. On this Next Step Mondays, we look back to Genesis 1, 1 and 2. The big idea we saw was this: the eternal creator creates creation. I'm so excited to be with you in Genesis for these next 16 weeks. So much here just in these two verses. It's mind-blowing. So we've established that the context, the original audience of Genesis was this Israelite Exodus generation. So God gave this to Moses, and in so doing, by looking back to the beginning, it properly grounds them in their present. They have to realize, as we do, that we're part of the bigger story. We're part of God's story. And when we remember that, it grounds us. So the first thing we see is there's a beginning point of creation, but there's no beginning to God. God is eternal. He is infinite. He is majestic. He is holy. And I think sometimes we overlook that. I think the bigness of God is so important to grasp, but along with that, the fact that he creates means he wills to be known. He wills to be a personal God. And so may we be people that really kind of marry these two together. The word that is used for create is a word that's only used for God, and it refers to creating from scratch. So this isn't pre-existing material, as if maybe we have a jar of Play-Doh, or we have wood, or we do something in the garden. No, God creates out of nothing his creation. And it says he creates the heaven and earth. In other words, there is nothing outside his creative grasp. And then we're introduced to these three clauses in verse 2. And first, we're told that this earth is formless and void. In other words, it's unproductive and it's uninhabited. And the analogy that came to mind was if you have a home and it's just you want to host people, but the problem is it's cluttered. You have to do two things. You have to unclutter your house. You have to make it habitable. But then you also need to fill it with furniture. And that's the problem that God is solving. In days 1 through 3 of creation, he's going to, in effect, build the house. He's making the earth habitable. But in days 4 through 6, he's going to fill the house. He's going to put furniture in it. And that's what we see with this creation account. Now, if we were just to leave off here, we'd see, wow, what's the hope? Because they're formless and void. But we have this last phrase, the Spirit of God was hovering over the earth. And we get this sense of anticipation, this sense of expectancy. Something is going to happen. But there's one thing missing. Why aren't things coming to fruition? Well, we haven't got to verse 3 yet, where we're introduced to the Word. The Spirit of God and the Word of God work together to bring life, and that's where we're headed. And we see the same thing in our spiritual lives. So as we land the plane here, I want to just encourage you in this next week. I want to encourage us to reflect and meditate on the transcendent majesty, the infinite, powerful, sovereign God that we serve, but also let's not miss that he is personal and he is intimate and he desires to be known to us. So let's be people that reflect and meditate on these wonderful truths this next week. I cannot wait for the next 15 weeks of Genesis together.